What is going on, guys? Microphone back again with another video, and I figured that it would be a good idea to take some time to really see where each NFL player stands in terms of physical profile. You see, some players are notorious for being incredible at throwing the deep ball, whereas some are more notorious for having a terrible arm. We have very tall players, we have short players, we have strong players, we have weak players, we have slow players, and we have fast players. Now, before we get to this piece of content, guys, please take a moment to subscribe to this brand new football channel and to turn on notifications so you can be updated whenever I make content such as this, and also bring you guys fresh news content. Also, I have created an Instagram page called Flight Microphone where I will be uploading pieces of news that we could discuss, which is really important because I plan on taking your responses and your comments on my Instagram page and featuring it in videos such as this. Now let's start out with the absolute fastest player in the NFL. Now, a lot of you guys would think this would be a running back. Maybe it's Christian McCaffrey, maybe it's Saquon Barkley. I know it's not Ezekiel Elliott, but to most people's surprise, it's none of those players. So technically, the second fastest player in the NFL today is Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings, and he's been absolutely phenomenal when he's been healthy. He's the second fastest player in the NFL despite injury problems, and he's undergone a plethora of injury issues. But the absolute fastest player in the NFL is a speed demon by the name of Tyreek Hill. And for those of you guys that aren't familiar with Tyreek Hill, let me remind you of who this man is. Before Tyreek Hill was known in the NFL as just some guy that was really fast, now he's known as one of the most terrifying deep threats and most terrifying wide receivers in the NFL. Now, the tallest player in the entire league is a offensive lineman by the name of Dan Skipper, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am not that familiar with him, and he's not really a Pro Bowler, but he does have the reputation of being the absolute tallest player in the NFL, so congratulations to Dan Skipper for that. Now, the shortest player in the entire NFL, and this is what's a little scary, it's a running back. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him because he is the Chicago Bears' top gadget player and Matt Nagy's favorite gadget player to use, and that's Tariq Cohen. For those of you guys that don't know who Tariq Cohen is, this year was supposed to be a very big year for Tariq Cohen, as a lot of people thought that once the Chicago Bears traded Jordan Howard, there was going to be some spots opening up for Tariq Cohen, but the Bears surprised everybody and ended up drafting David Montgomery and then said that Tariq Cohen's role was going to be diminished. And it's probably because he's the shortest player in the league. So if Tariq Cohen wants to sustain a very long NFL career, he literally should follow the blueprint that the previous shortest NFL player in league history followed, and that's Darren Sproles. And when Darren Sproles was asked how he had such a long NFL career, he literally just responded, "Get hit as little as possible." The strongest player. This used to belong to Aaron Donald, who could bench press 500 pounds. And then Quentin Nelson entered the league. What's ironic is that Aaron Donald plays on the defensive line, while Quentin Nelson is viewed as a generational offensive line player. We haven't seen these two match up yet, as the Rams haven't faced off against the Indianapolis Colts since September of 2017. But it's only a matter of time before we see the two strongest players in the NFL face off against each other. I was going to go Vita Vea over here because his combine stats just indicate that he's the strongest player, but I see Aaron Donald and Quentin Nelson using that strength the most in the league, and I wanted to measure on-field strength, not so much how much someone could bench press. The absolute weakest player in the NFL is a cornerback that Saints fans probably absolutely despise, and his name is Nickell Robey-Coleman. He's 5'8", he's 181 pounds. He's most famous for this play against the New Orleans Saints that resulted in a LA Rams Super Bowl berth. I'm sorry, Saints fans. Now, the absolute heaviest player in the NFL is a player by the name of Trent Brown, who weighs in at 381 pounds. And he definitely doesn't move like the NFL's heaviest player. If you check out Trent Brown's combine stats, he has a 40-yard dash of 5.29 seconds. He has a bench press of 20 reps. He has a 20-yard shuttle of 4.78 seconds, a broad jump of 97 inches, a vertical jump of 23.5 inches, a 3-cone drill of 8.23 seconds. Could you imagine a 381-pound man running at you with that type of speed? Now, the absolute lightest player in the NFL, and this is not a category that you want to be in, because it's very tough to survive in a sport where you are getting hit all the time while still being the lightest player. You need mass, man. So I have no idea how Taylor Gabriel lasted this long in the NFL. He's been a serviceable role player, but he is only 168 pounds. And here's the crazy thing. Taylor Gabriel has been in the NFL since the 2014 NFL season, and of course his role has diminished a little bit, but the fact that he's been able to stick around this long as the lightest player in the entire NFL is impressive, to say the least. Now, who's the absolute strongest arm? And let me know in the comment section down below what your vote is here. I also want to see your guys' lists if you completely disagree with anything I say. So my pick for the strongest arm is Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, I know there's videos of Josh Allen throwing 70-yard bombs before he got drafted, but the fact of the matter remains that I still don't see Josh Allen doing that in regular NFL games. Maybe it's because Sean McDermott doesn't like running that kind of offense. The Bills don't really run an offense that has Josh Allen airing the ball out much. More recently, he has been in his second year in the NFL. I'm expecting him to do it a lot in his third year because I saw a couple of deep balls to John Brown in his sophomore season, but I didn't see those deep balls in his rookie season. He was mainly improvising with his feet in his rookie season, so I expect him to take Patrick Mahomes' spot next year, but not this year. Now, the absolute weakest arm, and you guys are probably going to ether me in the comments for this one because I can't even believe I'm saying this, but oh my God, are you ready? It's Drew Brees. Don't get me wrong, Drew Brees is still a top 3 QB. I'm basing my point here based off of the fact that he's underthrown many footballs this year. Now, I know many people will blame his midseason injury, but even the year prior, Drew Brees had a knack for underthrowing the occasional ball. Do you know who else also has underthrown footballs multiple times? Tom Brady. Tom Brady was notorious for underthrown footballs this year. I think it's just an aging quarterback thing. As you get older and older, obviously your arm strength is going to diminish a bit. I cannot believe that I just listed 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation under weakest arms. Please don't unsubscribe as a result of that. Now, the best ability to throw on the run. This is a skill that involves players to improvise and create on the fly when the pocket collapses. Many people would typically say that Patrick Mahomes was the best player here. There's even been people that say that Lamar Jackson is the best at improvising on the run as well. But believe it or not, I'd have to disagree and say that title belongs to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is definitely the best at creating plays on his feet because Kyler Murray also had virtually 0 offensive line this year. So he really didn't have a choice but to create plays on the fly. With Lamar Jackson obviously coming in at second place, I chose Kyler Murray because he had to do it more often. The most accurate quarterback in the NFL, and this is going to make a lot of you guys laugh, but it's Drew Brees. He may have compensated for his diminished throwing power by throwing more checkdowns, and he was also out for 6 games this season, which does inflate his completion percentage a little bit because he didn't have as many attempts. But if you wanted to, for whatever reason, disqualify Drew Brees for any reason whatsoever, then Derek Carr is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Now, I've said this many times, I don't understand the rumors surrounding Derek Carr possibly moving on from the Raiders. He's just getting better and better. And for those of you who think I'm just hating on Drew Brees, the reason I had to include Carr here is because he had a 70.4% completion percentage while throwing 4,054 yards this season, whereas Drew Brees had a 74% completion percentage, but he threw for 2,979 yards this season. I'm by no means a hater of Drew Brees. I respect greatness. I just have to give respect where it's due. Now, I'm going to throw in an additional category here, and we're going to do most accurate deep pass accuracy. And this is a very difficult metric to measure fully because, it's very detailed. But I would have to say it's Kirk Cousins because originally Cousins was having trouble finding Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs on deep passes, but eventually he was able to create some chemistry with his wide receivers. Who do you have at second place and third place? Is there a player that you would have liked to see here besides Kirk Cousins? Now, let's move on to the best hands. I have to make an honorable mention for Austin Eckler as he caught 85% of the passes thrown his way, But come on, he's a running back. Those were fairly short passes for the most part. Many of the scoring opportunities and receptions Austin Eckler received were off of screen passes. When I'm talking about best hands, I'm talking about a player's ability to go up and get it. So we're going to be picking a wide receiver here, and out of all players, nobody has a better reception percentage than Michael Thomas. Mike Thomas made a pretty captivating argument for MVP this season, and even though he didn't win, he can take solace in the fact that he has the best hands in the league. Now, having a legendary quarterback who's on this list as the most accurate quarterback may help things a little bit, but just a little bit. Hardest hitter in the NFL. Myles Garrett has that hit stick, bro. Especially if he's going up against a specific Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Now, jokes aside, Myles Garrett was the #1 pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, and he consistently brings the boom. Now, I have J.J. Watt coming in at 2nd place, Jadeveon Clowney in at 3rd place, and Ndamukong Suh, who completely revitalized the Tampa Bay pass rush last year, at 4th place. The best route runner in the NFL. Look, I understand he's not in the league currently, but Antonio Brown is such a good route runner that teams are willing to put up with the headaches he causes in order to bring him in. Tom Brady is even rumored to being linked to AB on every team that he decides to join. He literally wants to bring AB in as a package deal. But if you think that AB shouldn't count, then I have Amari Cooper coming in at 2nd place. Cooper has always been a phenomenal route runner, even coming out of the NFL draft, and he really put that on display after the Dallas Cowboys opted to trade for him in 2018. Now, the most turnover-prone player in the entire NFL, I don't even think it needs to be said. I'm sure most of you guys watching this video know who it is, but that's famous Jameis Winston. This man put up a 30-touchdown, 30-interception season while also leading the league in passing yardage. I am absolutely in awe. I would not want to be the general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to figure out whether I want to bring back my former #1 overall pick that I drafted 5 years ago on a huge contract, because especially when he's put up a 30-touchdown, 30-interception season while also leading the league in pass yardage. Honestly, a huge fantasy football tactic I had this year was grabbing a defense that was going up against Jameis, because he was bound to throw a few interceptions and also lead the league in pick sixes. But let me know in the comment section down below who comes in at 2nd place here, and also make your own list and let me see it in the comment section, because I would like to see you guys rank every NFL player from their physical categories. I'm your boy Microphone, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload.